Welcome to massive open online courses for exporter and entrepreneurs, which is an initiative of DGFT, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, and the same is implemented by the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. The Indian Institute of Packaging is an autonomous body under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, is pleased to be part of this initiative. Today, we'll be discussing about the importance of packaging in export. During the discussion, we'll highlight about the definition of packaging, the various packaging material, and how packaging is so critical for the export market. In addition, the bulk packages intended to be used for the carriage of dangerous goods and also the safety aspect of hazardous material for export market will also be highlighted. We will also discuss about the controlling authority for issuing the UN certificate of the Government of India and the competent authority of Indian Institute of Packaging, and what are the different tests to be carried out and what is the importance of UN certificate for the export of hazardous goods. I am sure this will help you to understand about the packaging of hazardous good for the export market. Today, packaging has become an integral part of our daily life. At the same time, no product can be stored, transported, distributed, and marketed without proper packaging either for domestic or export market. Packaging industry is considered to be one of the world's largest and diverse manufacturing sector with a value of US dollar 771 billion. Globally, these industries are growing at the rate of 5 to 6%. The total turnover of Indian packaging industry is about 24.6 billion US dollar with an average growth rate of 11 to 13%. In terms of consumption of packaging material, about 40% consumption of packaging materials are from plastics, followed by printed carton, then metal, glass, and other packaging material. In general, it is observed that the trend of packaging consumption will grow further due to certain socio-economic changes like changing demography, which leads to the decision-making segment between 14 to 15 years are growing. Change in lifestyle, more nuclear families with dual income leads to high purchasing power. Increase of literacy causes to more health consciousness. Demand on convenience, which leads to convenient package design by the consumer. Lack of time for cooking food at home, this leads to high demand for packaged food. Change in food habit causes to demand of continental foods. Booming of retail market by means of smaller packages leads to high consumption of packages. Packaging is not merely wrapping the product, rather it is a combination of science, art, and technology. In other words, it is an instrument or tool for domestic or export market. Packaging is defined as a coordinated system of preparing goods for storage, transport, distribution, retailing, and the end use mainly by the consumer. It is an essential tool in product protection, distribution, marketing, and consumer satisfaction. Here, consumer satisfaction is the key area where the package to be designed for export mainly by considering the consumer's preference of that particular country. The package design could be either structural design to provide the functional properties or the graphic design to attract the consumer. In general, packaging provides two important functions, that is marketing and logistics. In marketing, it provides information about the product through proper labeling and marking and promotes the product through attractive graphics to attract the attention to the consumer. In fact, packaging acts as a silent salesman. In logistics, packaging is a means of ensuring safe delivery of goods on time to the consumer in safe and sound condition at an affordable cost. There are two types of packages for export market: unit package like paper and paperboard cartons, laminated pouches, glass container, metal cans, composite can, plastic containers, jute bag, plastic waste, woven fabric bags. Similarly, bulk packages like paper sacks, steel container, metal drums and barrels, composite container, corrugated fiberboard boxes, wooden boxes, flexible intermediate bulk container FIBC and rigid intermediate bulk container IBC. Transportation of bulk packages for export, where packaging plays a great role for transportation of goods by using right kind of packaging material, optimum functional design and optimum specification. In export market, packaging plays an important role in combination with labeling, marking and branding. It provides identification of the consignment through proper marking. It provides information about the consignment through proper labeling. It promotes export market through branding. The packages for export are undergone to different types of hazards effect, like mechanical hazards, mainly drop, vibration, inclined impact, stack load, rolling, compression. Environmental hazards like moisture absorption, permeation of gas to the package, penetration of UV light to the package, entry of sand and dust particle to the package, and rainwater. Biological hazard, mainly entry of rodents, presence of insects, and growth of fungus. Mechanical hazards, which are assessed by carrying out various simulating tests in the laboratory: the drop test, the vibration test, inclined impact test, stack load test, rolling, and compression test. Today, I am going to discuss about the importance of packaging of hazardous or dangerous goods for export market, where the safety is very important, as these hazardous goods can create danger to the environment, aquatic life, animal life, human life, and non-living things like ships, port areas, and factories. What are the dangerous goods? The dangerous goods are categorized under 9 classification. Class 1 is explosives, Class 2 gases, Class 3 flammable liquids, Class 4 flammable solids, substances liable to spontaneous combustion, substances which in contact with water and emit flammable gases, Class 5 oxidizing substances and organic peroxide, Class 6 toxic and infectious substances, Class 7 radioactive material, Class 8 corrosive, Class 9 miscellaneous dangerous substances and articles, including environmentally hazardous substances. For export of hazardous or dangerous goods are very critical, as this might cause hazards like inhalation of toxic gas, allergic effect to human skin, creation of polluted environment. Till 1953, the hazardous goods in packaged condition used to be exported from one country to another country by following the standards of individual country, which has caused a trade barrier among the member country of United Nations. In order to avoid the trade barrier, the expert committee of United Nations has formulated the different regulation or act. International Maritime Dangerous Goods Code, which is called IMDG, dealing with the consignment for sea transportation. The next is ICAO, which is International Civil Aviation Organization, as per the technical instruction for the consignment which will be transported by air. International Regulation by Road, called ADR, this is involved for the consignment transported by road, and International Regulation by Rail, the act called RID. Indian exports of dangerous goods are mostly by sea or air. As per IMDG regulation, each member country of United Nations have got competent authority to test the bulk packages intended to be used for the carriage of dangerous goods for functional properties, and based on the test report of the qualitative aspect of packages, the competent authority do issue the UN certificate with UN marking. The competent authority do issue the UN certificate to the packaging material manufacturers, where the certificate will also mention about the name of the exporter or shipper. The UN certificates are issued to the packaging material manufacturer with a specific period of validity, and the certificate are issued based on the test report of the packages, where the testing is carried out by following the different prescribed test and method given in the IMDG code. In India, Director General of Shipping and Director General of Civil Aviation, Government of India, are the controlling authority for the export of dangerous goods from India to ensure the safety of bulk packages up to the final destination. The controlling authority has authorized Indian Institute of Packaging, an autonomous body under the aegis of Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, as a competent authority who is responsible for carrying out the testing of bulk packages for different qualitative parameters, and based on the qualitative aspect, the institute is also authorized to issue the UN certificate with UN marking. The UN certificate has got many advantages in order to ensure the safe transportation of the hazardous goods consignment around the world, to avoid accident, safe trade between the two countries, reduced risk of delay delivery, provides proper documentation, and the certificate also acts as a passport in the international trade. In addition, this also acts as a visa for the entry of hazardous goods consignment to the importing country to ensure the compliance with IMDG and ICAO regulation. UN certificates are issued based on the testing of bulk packages in the laboratory. The test methods are followed as per the technical instruction of IMDG Annexure 1. Similarly, the test methods are given in the technical instruction of Part 2 of ICAO. Depending upon the degree of danger of the hazardous goods, these are classified in three categories. The X is the packing group 1, which is highly danger, Y is packing group 2, which is a medium danger, and Z is packing group 3, which is a low danger. The UN certificate is issued by the institute with UN marking, where the code A, B, C, D, F, G, H, L, M, P are given for different packaging materials. In addition, the marking for solid and liquid goods would also be different. In case of solid, the mark UN denotes United Nations. The numerical 1 is the packaging material like drum. 182 is the removable head type steel drum. Y is the packing group 2, that is the medium danger. S denotes solid. 0600, it denotes month and year of issuing the UN certificate. IND means India, that's the name of the country. ABC, the code number of the party, and UBWX is the serial number of the UN certificate. Similarly, for liquid products, density of the product in grams per cubic meter and hydraulic pressure in kilopascals are also mentioned. To get the UN certificate, the packaging material suppliers need to submit the application form by indicating the name of the chemical, UN number, packing instruction, packaging group, density of the product, vapor pressure at 55 degrees centigrade in case of liquid chemical, and for solid the gross weight to be mentioned in a prescribed form, and that form to be submitted to the institute along with the required number of samples to carry out the testing in the laboratory. The number of samples would vary depending on the type of packages, like 21 number of samples are required in case of plastic container, 15 numbers for metal container, 8 numbers for boxes, 8 numbers for bags, 8 numbers for rigid intermediate bulk container, 8 numbers for flexible intermediate bulk container. On receipt of the sample, the institute will carry out the various performance tests in the laboratory. Based on the performance test, the institute will issue the UN certificate for different packaging material. The UN marking given in the UN certificate, which is required to be printed by the packaging material manufacturer on each and every packages of a particular consignment of dangerous goods for export, either by sea or air transportation. What is the methodology of the UN certificate? The UN certificate with UN marking are given to the manufacturers of packages, dealers of packages, exporter of dangerous goods when the packages are fabricated at their end. Generally, it is a wooden box. For UN certification, the applicant has to submit the following to the institute: a request letter along with the prescribed form duly filled in, compatibility declaration of the package with a proper particular dangerous product from the exporter, testing and UN certificate fee. Prescribed application form should have the following information: the name of the chemical, UN number, packing instruction, packing group, density of the product, various pressure at 55 degree centigrade for liquid chemicals only. From entire lot of packages, 8 packages are withdrawn by the party, at least one printed package or 2-3 labels for labeled package to be given, inspection by the institute official, submission of these 8 samples with a copy of drawing to the institute. On receipt of the samples, the institute will carry out the testing of the sample packages as per the instruction given in Annexure 1 of IMDG. 2 separate test reports are given. One is the test report related to the quality to test, and another test report which is related to the performance test as per IMDG requirement. On satisfactory test results, the UN certificate is issued to the party. Now, what are the criteria to get this certificate? The 8 packages from the entire lot are withdrawn as a sample. Samples are subjected to the performance test and qualitative test. The UN certificate and test report are issued only when the samples pass the test. What are the utilization criteria? The UN certificate for a lot of unlimited packages valid for either 6 months or 12 months from the date of issue of the certificate. In addition, the 10 days grace period are also allowed for the use of packages with prior intimation to the institute. After the due date of UN certificate, if the exporter finds any packages are left out at his premises, he is allowed to submit the samples to the institute for carrying out the qualitative test. In such case, the exporter can directly send the samples with a request letter for the extension of validity time. An extension of validity time is given to the exporter directly by the institute only based on the qualitative test. In other words, the packages which was given a 6 months or 12 months validity period, even after 12 months, if the packages are found to be having adequate quality and the test results are found to be positive, then this extension certificate are given to the exporter. The validity of the UN certificate is normally 12 months from the date of issue of the certificate. That means the packaging material supplier can supply any quantity of materials to the exporter, and the export consignment is required to reach to the final destination within this period. However, if any packages printed with UN marking are left at the exporter, and in that case the exporter can submit the printed samples to the institute prior to the validity period for carrying out the qualitative test. Based on the qualitative test, the validity period would be increased. In short, a certificate will have a validity period of 18 months, that is the 12 months with the packaging material supplier and the 6 months to the exporters. In case of ISO 9000 certified packaging manufacturer, the validity time is 18 months, that is 12 months with the packaging material manufacturer and 6 months with the exporter. However, in case of non-ISO certified companies, the validity period of UN certificate is only 12 months. That is 6 months will be given to the packaging material manufacturer and 6 months to be given to the exporters. Exporters can even use the leftover packages as mentioned earlier. In such case, he needs to declare the leftover packages. 5 number of such leftover packages can be withdrawn and submit to the institute for testing. 5 numbers of these samples will be tested, and based on the quality report, the extension period will be given. So in short, if I want to conclude it, I can say that testing of packaging material for quality test and performance test is very important in order to ensure that the bulk packages which will be used for the packaging of hazardous goods need to be. In short, I can mention here that the testing of bulk packages for qualitative test and performance test is very important in order to maintain the safety and also in compliance with IMDG and ICAO certification. And based on the performance, the one should send the consignment of hazardous goods from India to other country. Friends, today you have understood about the importance of packaging, the definition of packaging, the various packaging materials, unit package and bulk packages. You have also understood about the very different types of bulk packages which are used for the carriage of dangerous goods for export market. We have also discussed about the safety aspect for the transportation of hazardous goods for export market. What are the various tests to be carried out in the laboratory, and based on the qualitative measures of the various packaging material, what are the tests to be carried out, and based on the test report, the UN certificate are issued. I am sure this deliberation will help you to understand about the UN certificate and for doing the export of hazardous goods. For the details, you can always contact our Indian Institute of Packaging, the website www.iip-in.com. Thank you very much.